So this is a very important topic that there's a lot of times that people get questions about, that people have questions about, and that is the topic of when it comes to Shidduchim, when it comes to looking to find a spouse, and we're looking into a person, or a person is being looked into, and we're being asked questions about that person, right? You have a friend, you have a roommate, you know this girl for years, from high school through seminary, you know everything about her, all of her ups, all of her downs, everything, and now somebody's calling and asking you, questions about her for Shidduchim, and asking, about her past, about, what she does, and all these types of things, and these are very, very, very big questions, and we know that these are considered to be questions like, almost on the level of pikuach nefesh, right? These are questions that really affect a person's life. Now, we have to understand, right? We have bitachon, we believe in Hashem, we believe that every person is going to find their bashert, the person who's meant to be for them, and it's going to happen, and it's going to happen in the right time, and there's nothing that anybody can do that is going to change that in the big scheme of things, right? We believe that with Emunah. At the same time, because we work and live in the world of Ishtadlus and Bechira, right, like we've been talking about in Foundations of Faith, right? So we work in the world of consequences, and we work in the world of actions, and that our actions have an effect, and therefore, yes, on the one hand, let's say somebody asks me about a girl, and I say something, and and it turns this guy, off from marrying her, and chas v'shalom, and then 10 years later they end up meeting again, and they get married, and they find out it was because of this thing that he didn't date her the first time, and it was totally wrong and misunderstood, and all these other things. So on the one hand, right, of course we believe that it's min hashamayim that this girl and this guy were not meant to get married until they were 30, right? That was min hashamayim, and that had to be for whatever reason that they had to go through. At the same time, I'm accountable for that. It is on my cheshbon. I can't say, oh, well, it was meant to be, it was meant to be. No. As far as my level of accountability, my responsibility, in Shemayim and here in the world, it's my achrayus to make sure. And if something like that chas v'shalom happens and it's on my cheshbon, it's on my cheshbon. Yeah? So this is this dichotomy that we have to have. Emunah on the one hand, and believing everything is min hashamayim, and every one of you, Mertz Hashem, is going to get married in the exact right time, and there's nothing that anybody can do or can't do to make that happen or not, and no amount of Lashon Hora, and no amount of bad things in your past or your history or your family are going to change that. And at the same time, we all have to do hishtadlos and live in the world of hishtadlos and accountability and responsibility and consequences. And therefore, it's very, very important that we know these halachos, so we take it very seriously, and are very, very careful in what and how we say. Now, we're going to go through this. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Unfortunately, he's not alive anymore, maybe he's. Sorry, I thought it was Rav Finkel. I think it's Rav Arye Finkel. Okay, the son. I'm not sure if you. Okay. Anyway, these are. It's a Shilos and Shuvas from the Rosh Yeshiva of the Mir Yeshiva, which obviously is a place where there's thousands of bakrim and thousands of questions like this come up all the time. And so we're going to go through this. Now you're going to see the general mahalach is the general overview, the general idea. If you tune out for the rest of the class and you don't listen to any of the actual questions, the general view is you say as little and as unincriminating as possible to say. That's what we're going to see, right? In other words, the idea is that we are very, 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 very careful, and you'll see how he deals with the questions. Okay, so let's see. Sheila, the first one. Mi sheshoel ma hachisaron shel bachur mutar la'anot lo. So okay, somebody calls me up and asks, about, what are your goals? And says, okay, tell me all of, so-and-so's chesronos. Tell me all of her failings, all of her lackings. Yeah? So what do you answer? How do you answer such a question? Well, people do this. People say, what are this person's weaknesses, right? You get this in an interview, in a job interview, you'll get this question about yourself. It's a fair question to ask, right? I mean, you want to know what this person's, okay, how are you supposed to answer? Okay. Mutar la'anos lo, are you allowed to answer? Lo. He says no. Ze lo hagon l'shol kach. It is not appropriate, it is not proper to ask like this. Ha'im ani bodek min hagoyim shel kol echad. Do I look into and try to find out the worst thing about every person? Im atam mechapes mailos, ani yachol lechapes. Achasronos ma petom. You want me to look for milos in the person? You want me to look for things? So yeah, I'll look for those. I'll look for positive traits. But to look for chesronos ma petom, what are you talking about? I wouldn't tell you my faults. I wouldn't go through all of my chisronos and tell you them. So now I should go ahead and tell somebody else's faults. That's not the derech. You don't ask like this. Tell me everything negative you know about this person. How does he learn? How does he daven? Yeah? Ask specific questions. And if I saw him one time daven nicely, I could say he davens well, he's wonderful in davening. A person who doesn't have a connection to davening, he'll never have a good davening, right? He's saying a very interesting thing over here, right? Because we're looking not for like the lowest common denominator of this person, right? We're not looking to find their weakest link and expose that, right? We're looking to find their strongest points and to show that, right? We're looking, obviously we'll see as it goes through, we're not talking about covering up major problems. We're talking about here in the normal range of people that everybody has ups and downs and milus and chesronos, and everybody has good davenings and bad davenings, right? So he says, when you're judging a person, when you're talking about a person, you have to look at them at their best, and that's what you have to say, right? If you know that they've had a good davening here and there, one time you were with this girl at the kotel, and you saw her really, davening so wow, yeah, impressive. So then you say, yeah, wow, she's a really, really connected to davening, because he's saying a person who would not be connected to davening would not even get that one time. Yeah. Right? In other words, so we look to say the positive. You look to find the positive things to say and to build those up. Okay. Shaila 2. Do you have to present the guy or the girl, right, as they are, right? Like, as is, what you see is what you get? Or are you supposed to, again, present different aspects of them? So he says again, anything that you can play up on the positive, you should play up, right? Any aspect of them that is something, good and something, positive or impressive, that you find to be good about them. So those are the things you should play up. Yeah, the other things, things that are not good, or things that they don't do well, or that from your perspective you see, this girl is not so careful about davening, or she's not so careful about something. You should say, I don't know. But there are cloud davar lo tov and lo chayiv lomar. In general, negative things. Again, we're not talking about major problems and major chesronos, and a person's like a total faker. Again, right? We're not talking about a person who pretends to be one thing and is something completely different. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a regular, standard person that really is on the inside the way that they try to be on the outside. But like everybody, we've got ups and downs and good points and bad points. So our job in Shidduchim is to try to paint the picture, stressing the good points and avoiding the bad points, right? And saying, I don't know about these things. Well, why? Why is it? Why should I be hiding over these things? What's the reason? What do you think? Right, because the story is like this. One of the halachos of Lashon Hora, right? They'll kind of to put it into like a technical box. First of all, turn off the air. I don't know if the windows are open, the air shouldn't be on. I don't know if it's on cold or hot even. Just unplug it, please. Thank you. That one of the halachos of Lashon Hora is like this: that you're not allowed to say something if the person is going to take it and use that information in a way that they're not allowed to. Okay. In other words, let's say a person has an employee, and you're not allowed to. Let's say this would be the halacha, even though it's not necessarily. Let's say a contract. I don't know. A person would fire the employee if they knew about this in a way that was usher to do. So you're not allowed to say something, even if it's true and even if it's the toeles, if you know the person might or is going to take it in a different way and take it in a wrong way and do something negative as a result. I'm going to go into the break for a little bit. Is that okay, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So the idea is, so that becomes Lashon Hora. So the same thing is going to be over here. Like again, everybody has faults. Everybody has negatives. Everybody has failings and failures and really, really bad parts to them. Everybody has bad parts to them. Yeah? But we don't think about it that way. And when we're looking into a person and we're going to hear some of these negative things, even if these are things that I myself have and that everybody has, right? But when we're looking in such a critical way, it's going to paint a picture in our mind and we're going to take it in a negative way. And that may very well nix the chance of a shidduch that really should not be nixed. Right? Because we're really just pointing out things that everybody does, everybody has, everybody does these things, in one way or another. Again, being very clear. I'm not talking about things that are out of the bell curve. I'm not talking about a thing, a person who has a serious problem, or they,
So whose job is it to talk?
We'll get to it. We'll see all of these things. But we're talking about now just in the normal standard range. Yeah, very often we know people very, very well, and we can say all sorts of negative things about them and be very honest and true. And some of these things we may feel like, it's legitimate for this person to know that they don't treat other people's property with so much respect, right? It's something that they should know about this person. At the same time, that's probably, 20, 30, 40% of people, and that, it's not fair, and that's not fair. It's usher if you're going to bring something up that's going to then spin off in their mind and paint a negative picture and, potentially tip a shidduch off, right? Meaning off the scale of being, going or not going based on something that you say. That's why a person has to be very, very, very careful, in these types of things. So that's what you say. So the negative things, I should say, I don't know. Ela al zeh nemar lamei lashon cholomar any odeh, right? The Chazal say, you should teach your tongue to say, I don't know. You should get used to saying, I don't know. Don't always try to think you have all the answers and know all the answers and know everything. Get used to saying, I don't know. So we're saying this is where it applies, even though really usually it applies to someone's asking you a question and you don't know the answers, you don't pretend you know, right? But he's like using it homiletically, so to speak, over here. Using it as like a drush to say, if you're being asked something negative about a person, to get used to saying, I don't know that about him. Okay. Number 3, Lama asul lahatzik tmuna shlema. Okay, so he's going to address this. Why? Why can I not present the whole picture? Why shouldn't I present the picture as it is? Lahavdil. On the contrary. Kasuv shebehesped im yesh bo muter lahagzim. If when it comes to a hesped, when it comes to an obituary, a eulogy, so any midah that the person has, you're allowed to exaggerate. Vim ein bo lo. But you can't make up things. You can't say that they were tremendously philanthropic and incredibly honest if they weren't. Right? That you can't tell. But like I said, if they gave tzedakah as much as they were able to, so you can exaggerate. Right? You can talk about it in an exaggerated way. Yeah. Right? And what's the idea? The idea is why you let a lie at a hesped just to be nice? No, the idea is if we saw something good in that person, chances are there's a lot more to them than just that, right? I got a glimpse of it, right? But chances are, right, most people like there's much more to them than just this one idea, there's this one thing. Yeah? Right? He's going to be better than what we see. שמה שנוגע לעצמי אני יכול לחשוש אך מה שנוגע לאחרים אתה לא יודע גם מה טוב לשני. And when it comes to negative things, right, again, we don't know, what's good for this person, what's bad for this person. We don't know, they may think that they only want a person who's, very, very, very organized and very misudar, and this person is a little bit, disorganized. And stuff like that. Who knows really, who's supposed to be married for them and what their challenge is supposed to be and who's to be so. That's not our job to try to, guide and determine the appropriate shidduch for this person. So they're asking these questions. It's my job to try to paint the picture, as rosy as possible. Again, within the bell curve, within a normal range of behaviors. Yeah. Should get used to saying I don't know when it comes to these negative aspects. You should always just say I don't know. Oh, now he's saying, however, if there's a negative aspect to this person that is potentially a mekach tos, potentially can undermine the whole thing, right? That a person would know about this, they would not get married, and they know this person, has a violent temper and has hurt people in the past, and they're not dealing with it. Or this person steals, and they have a problem with stealing, and they're not dealing with it. Or this person, anything, they're bipolar, and they're hiding it. Something that's a very, very serious something. Again, these are now those things out of the normal range, out of the normal bell curve. Yeah, so those are things for sure. Yeah, you have to say. However, mistam chesronos. Yeah, when it comes to regular things, yoshein, bottle, sachtzan. Yeah, if he's a little bit lazy, sometimes he sleeps late from time to time. He's a little bit irresponsible. These types of things. No, those are not things that you say. Those are things that are within the normal range of human behavior. That everybody has some chisronos, of that nature, and those are not things that we say to other people. Okay. Next, Hayim ze lo ba'achrayuti. Isn't this my responsibility? However, shani mamlitz al bachur shani choshev shu lo tov umasi etzara. Oh, he's saying now, what do you mean? We have a halacha that we know, like it's called lifnei iver lo titein michshol. I'm not allowed to place a stumbling block in front of another person, and that means I'm not allowed to give a person bad advice, right? I'm not allowed to give a person advice that I think is wrong. And if I think this guy is lazy, and I think that this girl can do much better. Right, I think that she could, a guy is calling me and asking about a girl, and I think they could do much better than this, and this girl really is not up to par. So isn't that my responsibility? Aren't I? If he comes off the phone with me thinking that I hold that this is a great idea, doesn't that make me giving it bad advice? I'm saying something I don't believe in. Answer. Mi shesomech al achrayutcha hu chaser deya. A person who's relying only on you and on your achrayus, so that's a person who's lacking a little bit in his seichel. Minasim levarer k'tzas achma pitom hu achrayutcha. When you're calling the girl's roommate in seminary, you're not calling her to get her stamp of approval and take responsibility for the shidduch. And if that's what a person's doing, so then he's a person with no seichel. They're going to rely on the guy's yeshiva roommate bacher and ride the whole shidduch happening or not based on that. He's saying you're trying to clarify, you're trying to get a little bit of a picture of the person. That's your job. You're not taking any responsibility here. You're not taking any achrayas here. If there's anything that's like a serious problem that they want to know about, or a problem, so then they'll find that out by speaking to Rebbeim and speaking to other people. Again, not a serious problem. If you know of a serious problem to other people, that you have to say, right? But the point is, you're not taking anything here on your achrayas. It's not like you're suggesting an eitzah ra, and now they're going to take that eitzah, they're going to take your advice and go with it, and end up in problems all because of you. That's not the way that we look at it. Okay, now maybe we'll do one more, and then we'll stop here. It's a little bit of a longer one. So the question is, Ma yomar l'shar adam? What do you say to other people? Uma yomar la'aba o l'karov shemivarim? Okay, so the question is there a difference? Is there a difference if it's the actual father, right, or the mother of the girl or the guy calling and asking about their child, asking about their son, and asking specific questions and specific qualities, versus Stam, another person, Rebbe, or a friend or something like that that's just calling, to clarify to see if it's a good shidduch or not. Is there any difference? Is there a difference in what you say and how you present it or what you present between a parent and somebody else? Okay. Tshuva. L'stam adam lo merakes amaylos. The regular person, an outside person, you only say the positive. V'asur lahagid chesronos, and you're not allowed to say, it's asur to tell the negatives. Sharei hu lo yachol lahayid al zeh. The Sefer Torah, I guess, means shezekach, right? There's no, you can't testify to this. There's no testifying on this. I'm not sure exactly what he means with that. Maybe the third party can't testify because it's only hearsay. I'm not sure what he means. Again, if you want to expose your own faults and your own weaknesses, you could do that, but not other people's. And not to say that you don't like this person. Maybe so what that you don't like him. Other people may yes like him. And stam, you're just undermining the shidduch. You don't know what's going to come out from this. maybe they're going to, take it and exaggerate more than just what you're saying about him. But okay. So that's what it seems to say when it comes to other people, right? Make sure for sure not to say chisronos. And when it comes to the father, you have to ask the father, what exactly are you asking? He's asking very specifically, how is he in davening? What is his tefillah like? If sometimes you see him and sometimes you don't, you say, I don't know. Right? But now let's say, okay, again, there's a type of person who excels in tefillah and is rock solid and is there every single day. So that's a person you're going to praise their davening. You're going to say, whoa, yeah, he's a solid davener. He's mamish into davening. He's really one of the inspirational daveners in the yeshiva. But let's say he's a guy sometimes there, sometimes not. Yeah, on and off. Then you say, I don't know. Yeah, a parent calls you and says, did this girl come to class? What was her attendance like? And that she was like on and off. We get that question. We do get that question. Yeah, for sure.
Really?
We want to know about responsibility and things like that. If they're looking for like a really responsible, for sure. Yeah, not often, but it has happened. Yeah, someone wants to know about attendance. So yeah, if she's there, all the time, and she's there, so we say Kiria is always here. Yeah, that's what we say. That's easy. Yeah, but if it's a person who's sometimes here and sometimes not, and this and that, you say, I don't remember. I really don't remember. Because if you say anything negative, they're going to take it negatively. However, if it's so-and-so, who is never there, and they're known to be the person who's always skipping class, and known to be the person in yeshiva, who's outside during davening and doesn't take it seriously, so then what do you say? Again, to the father, not to other people. To other people, even on that guy, you say, I don't really know. I don't know if he, what his deal with davening was. I don't remember, right? That's what you say.
The other person has
if a friend calls up, you're looking into a guy for Tanya, and you call the Rebbe, and the guy is one of these schleppers who's barely in davening, he should say, I don't know. That's what he said. I don't know. Because it's not your business to clarify all of this and to relate it then to the parents, and who knows how you're going to say it and what you're going to say. So we just say, I don't know. But if it's the actual parent or the actual guy or girl looking into it, and they're the ones that are actually asking the question, so then again, if he's a solid guy, you praise him, right? Even if he's not super solid, you exaggerate. If he's on and off, then you say, I don't know. But if he's a known schlepper, he's a known guy in the yeshiva, you say something like, well, he says, I don't think he davens in the yeshiva, maybe he learns very late at night.
Wow.
As you say. In other words, but what are you doing? You're leaving it open for them to ask more. But you're leaving it open not just to distract. You're giving an answer that leaves it open for them to look into it if they want to. Right? Oh, wow, I didn't know that about him, that he learned late and that he davened in a later minyan. Well, let's ask him about that. And then he'll say, no, that's not the case. You hear what he's saying? In other words, he's not saying to pretend something that's not. He's just saying, this is the story. I don't know what his story is. Again, he's stressing, this is only to the father and not to other people. Or to say, I don't know. And we'll finish with this line that's very strong, right? Because when you say something negative, even in a very gentle way, people make mountains out of these molehills, right? People build big things out of this. And sometimes it breaks up shidduchim. In other words, the idea is because people are a little bit crazy, right? People are a little, take things out of proportion and make decisions based on wrong things and wrong this, and who knows what this girl is. Maybe she's also a girl who barely davens in the morning, but her parents think she's this big tzaddikas, and maybe this guy is exactly right for it. There's so many things that people think they know what's best for them. Again, I want to make it clear, we're only talking about normal things, not crazy bad things that need to be known. But within the normal range of things, our job is to try to be as positive as possible, to try to stay away from negative information as much as possible. If it's a parent asking or the person themselves asking, so then I should give an answer that leaves them the opportunity to find out more about it. Right? Notice I'm making it clear that he's not one of the great daveners, and truth is I don't really see him around davening, but I don't. There's a reason for that probably, right? That I could say, and but leave that only just to the parent. Okay, Mr. We'll continue with that. It's good. It's productive. It's good. Okay, we'll continue.
Thank you.